We are all staying home more this summer, and if you're looking for something different to watch, I have a suggestion for you. It's called License to Kill. It is about botched plastic surgeries. I talked with Dr. Terry Dubrow all about this interesting show. Let's find out more.
Today, I am honored to speak with Dr. Terry Dubrow. He is the renowned cosmetic surgeon and fixes failed plastic surgeries on the show Botched. And he is also the host of License to Kill, a series that shares the stories of crimes made by medical professionals from the perspective of victims and their families. Dr. Dubrow, thanks for talking with us here at Park City Television.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
So tell me a little bit more about both of these shows.
So this is the second season of License to Kill, and for those of you who enjoyed it or haven't seen it yet, it's a show about doctors using their skills and education and training to do some really bad things. Rather than do good, they set out initially to probably do okay, and then for some reason they go off the deep end and do harm. And when a doctor does that, it's really difficult to figure out that they're actually doing it. And we're protected by the cloak of secrecy. So we have these special skills, and it's under the sort of the doctor-patient relationship. Botched, as you know, is in the third part of season 6. This is a really interesting out there season because not only are we fixing bad plastic surgery, but we're doing so on patients many of whom who have underlying conditions are either born with or that it's a result of trauma or a disease process and the plastic surgery had gone bad. So both shows really are sort of unusual seasons of the original, episodes.
Sounds absolutely terrifying, actually. Can you tell me more about any of the issues that come up in season 2, License to Kill?
Yeah, I mean, this season, as opposed to the first season, which was mostly doctors who went off the deep end and decided to become essentially serial killers, this season is much more complex, and the doctors' motivations were much more sinister. And for example, this season we actually have a cosmetic surgeon who was a doctor, a trained physician, but a total fraud who decided through greed and his desire to do some really bad things to people, went off the deep end, decided to do plastic surgery in his basement, and for some reason had a number of patients who were willing to go there, and the doctor was using standard house appliances and instruments to try to do these surgical procedures, used a hanger to try to establish an airway on a patient, and ultimately ended up going really out of control and off the deep end. So it's a really different season of License to Kill. It's still a mystery that unfolds. You still have to do your detective work, but you got to put your stethoscope on as well.
Well, exactly. As a surgeon yourself, is this frustrating and very maddening to see these things? How do you handle it?
Well, it gives me chills. I'll tell you why. Because if I decided to go off the deep end, the things I know about the way the human body works, I could inject various substances to you. I could do various things to you, and you would never be able to figure out that I actually did it intentionally, and it would look like it was an unfortunate complication or a natural part of the evolution of a disease process. But after a long period of time, when I laid waste to a number of victims, somebody out there might start to suspect. It's just really scary that a doctor, a nurse, a medical professional would systematically do that using their education, training, and skills. If you think about it, doctors kind of have sort of a superpower about us because we understand intricacy of the human body, that we can make small manipulations and cause you good or do you harm. And when a doctor decides to use those superpowers to do some really bad things, we're like super villains.
Well, Dr. Terry Dubrow, it's been fascinating talking to you. Looking forward to watching these shows. You can see License to Kill on Oxygen on Saturdays, and Botched new episodes air on Mondays on E! Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Have a great day.